All right, today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating ideas in comics right now. What happens when Superman, the ultimate symbol of good, finally decides he's done inspiring change and is ready to start forcing it? Let's get into the real cost of that decision.
I mean, it's the question we've all asked, right? It's followed him around for decades. If you've got the power to stop wars, end poverty, and crush injustice, why on earth wouldn't you? It sounds like such a simple question, but the answer is terrifyingly complicated. And honestly, it's the engine that drives this entire story.
And that leads us right into the heart of Grant Morrison's Superman and the Authority. And look, this isn't just another story about capes and punches. This is a full-blown philosophical experiment. Yeah, Morrison's answer is pretty direct. After a lifetime of being a symbol, Superman decides that just being an inspiration, it isn't cutting it anymore. He's going to step in, he's going to solve the world's problems himself, and he'll do it by any means necessary. So this is a massive change in his whole mission. He's no longer okay with just being a passive ideal, a shining example that people can maybe choose to follow. No, he's decided to become an actual moral authority, a political power that can literally reshape the world. And if you want to get philosophical about it, this is Superman's ultimate will to power. It's not just about wanting control, it's this deep fundamental drive to force his vision of a better world onto reality itself. But to pull that off, well, he's going to need a very different kind of toolkit. And this, right here, is where things get really, really interesting. To become that active force, to become a sword, Superman has to give up being a passive symbol. And he needs a team that isn't afraid to get its hands very, very dirty. So just look at this incredible clash of ideas. On one side, you've got Superman, who for his entire existence has been a moral absolute. His code doesn't bend. On the other side, you have the Authority. These guys operate on pure, raw pragmatism. For them, the ends always justify the means. I love this quote because it perfectly captures where he starts. His morality isn't just a set of rules he follows. It's presented as a fundamental law of his universe. It's like gravity. It's just there. It's fixed, it's predictable, it's absolute. So that brings us to the central problem of the whole story. By teaming up with the Authority, Superman has to stare this question right in the face. Can someone who is the definition of pure good actually use violent, morally gray methods to get a good result without becoming corrupt himself? This decision, alliance, it's not just a new team-up. It's a classic Faustian bargain. It's a deal where the price he pays is a piece of his own soul. And let's just be super clear on what that means. A Faustian bargain is when you trade something that is absolutely core to who you are just to get something you desperately want. And for Superman, the stakes could not be any higher. Okay, this table just lays the whole trade-off bare. So what does he get? He gets actual political leverage. He gets the raw, unapologetic power to make people listen. But look at what he loses. His moral purity? Gone. The unimpeachable integrity of his symbol? Out the window. He's literally trading in his halo for a hammer. Here's probably the best way to think about it. It's like a sculptor taking his perfect, flawless marble statue. That's his symbolic purity. And trading it for a bunch of greasy, powerful industrial tools. Sure, now he can carve mountains, but he's destroyed that original perfect statue, and he's forever stained by the compromise it took to use those tools. And that's the psychological price tag. To use these new tools, to lead this new team, he has to accept his own shadow. He has to find a willingness to compromise his oldest ideals and use force in ways he always found unthinkable. It's a corrupting step, but in his mind, it's a necessary one. So, where does this road lead? Well, it leads to a very, very unsettling place. Because in his quest to build a perfect world, Superman risks becoming something truly dangerous. To really get this, we gotta talk about the philosopher Nietzsche and his idea of the last man. Just picture a world that is so safe, so comfortable, so completely free of any real challenge that life itself becomes empty, meaningless. It's basically a comfortable cage. And look, let's be fair. Superman's goal is noble. Of course it is. He wants to wipe out suffering and create a perfect utopia. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But here's the crazy paradox. By taking away all the struggle, he risks taking away the very things that give our lives meaning and purpose. He doesn't become the last man himself. No, he becomes its architect. He becomes a benevolent dictator, enforcing a perfect, comfortable, and ultimately hollow existence on all of us. So, how does this grand experiment play out in the end? Well, the answer reveals the story's most powerful and, frankly, most important warning. Plain and simple, it doesn't work. After all his power, after all the compromises, his attempt to just fix the world, it fails. And the reason it fails is the biggest lesson of all. His failure wasn't about a lack of power. It was a failure of principle. He learns a hard lesson. You cannot force people to be good. By imposing his solutions, he didn't actually get rid of injustice. He just became the new boss, managing it. See, true moral authority can't be forced on people by a god. It has to be chosen by them. And this is the mic drop moment. The story completely reframes how we think about power. For a being like Superman, real strength isn't in action, it's in restraint. It's about having the power to remake the entire world in your own perfect image and then choosing not to. And that really leaves us with one last thing to think about. When any of us, superhero or not, try to go out and fix the world, the story asks a pretty tough question. Is the biggest challenge the problem you're trying to solve? Or is it resisting the slow, steady compromise of your own soul in the process?